Welcome back to RFCoins. Today, we have something truly incredible, a coin that could be hiding in your pocket change or your grandparents' old collection. We're talking about the 1975 1-cent Ultra Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem ordinary but could be worth a jaw-dropping $597,762 in today's market. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick around because we're going to break down everything about this coin, its history, how to identify it, what makes it valuable, and most importantly, how you can find one. So, if you love rare coins, valuable finds, and the thrill of discovering hidden gems, then make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest updates. Let's get started. The history of the 1975 Lincoln penny. The 1975 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was first introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat penny design. This series continued until 2008, when the U.S. Mint introduced a new design to honor Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday. Now, at first glance, most 1975 pennies don't seem that special. They were minted by the billions, making them one of the most common coins in circulation. But here's the exciting part: there are certain rare coins and ultra-rare varieties that make these pennies incredibly valuable. What makes the 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny so valuable? Not every 1975 penny is worth a fortune, but some special varieties and errors can fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here's what you need to look for. The Ultra Lincoln penny is an exceptionally rare variety that was accidentally struck with a special die, creating an ultra-sharp and detailed strike. These coins were struck with higher pressure and polished dies, giving them an almost proof-like quality. Some experts believe these were experimental strikes made at the Philadelphia Mint, but very few ever made it into circulation. Today, collectors are willing to pay a fortune for one of these rare Ultra Lincoln pennies. One of the most famous and valuable errors on 1975 Lincoln pennies is the double die obverse. This means the design was accidentally struck twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on letters, numbers, and Lincoln's portrait. If you look closely at a 1975 penny and notice a doubling effect on the word "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date 1975, you might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Another rare error that increases the value of a 1975 penny is the center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing. Sometimes, the mint accidentally strikes pennies on the wrong type of metal planchet. These rare errors can make a 1975 penny one of a kind, worth a fortune. Only a few exist, and they can sell for over $500,000. How to identify a rare 1975 Ultra Lincoln penny? Now that we know what makes these pennies valuable, here's how you can check if you have one. Look for sharp details. If your 1975 penny has an ultra-sharp strike with a mirror-like finish, you might have an Ultra Lincoln penny. Check for doubling. Use a magnifying glass or a microscope to look for doubled letters or numbers. Check the weight. A normal 1975 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. Inspect for errors. Center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can add significant value. Look for a proof-like shine. If the penny has an unusual high-gloss surface, it could be an experimental strike. Current market value. How much are they selling for? Now, the big question. How much are these rare 1975 Ultra Lincoln pennies actually worth? Here are some recent auction results and estimated values. So, as you can see, while regular 1975 pennies might not be worth much, the rare varieties and error coins can be life-changing. Where to find these rare pennies? You might be wondering, where can you find these valuable pennies? Here are some great places to start. Check your pocket change. You never know what might be hiding in your spare change. Search through old coin jars. Many rare pennies have been found in old family collections. Visit coin shops and flea markets. Sometimes, valuable coins are sold unknowingly for just a few cents. Buy unsearched penny rolls. You can purchase unsearched rolls of pennies from banks or online to hunt for rare ones. Estate sales and auctions. These are gold mines for finding rare and valuable coins. Final thoughts. Could you be holding a fortune? The 1975 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin, but as we've seen today, certain rare varieties can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you have any 1975 pennies lying around, take a closer look. You might just be sitting on a hidden treasure. Do you have any rare coins in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest coin updates. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. Welcome back to RFCoins, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most sought-after pennies in American numismatics, the 1982 D. Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this tiny piece of copper could be worth a fortune, with some specimens selling for jaw-dropping prices. We'll cover its fascinating history, how to identify the rare varieties, and what makes certain 1982 D. Lincoln pennies so incredibly valuable. Stick around until the end to learn how much yours could be worth today. The year 1982 was a turning point in U.S. coinage. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a critical decision to transition from solid copper pennies to a copper-plated zinc composition. This shift resulted in multiple varieties of 1982 pennies, making them highly collectible. The Denver Mint produced a substantial number of these coins, but some rare variations make certain 1982 D pennies worth a fortune. Before diving into value, let's talk about the key varieties. In 1982, the U.S. Mint struck pennies in two different metal compositions. Copper weighed 2.5 grams. Additionally, there are multiple varieties in both metal types due to different sized mint marks and changes in the design of the coin's date. 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D copper. The 1982 D copper small date penny is one of the rarest and most valuable variations ever discovered. If you have one, you might be holding a coin worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. How to identify a rare 1982 D copper small date penny. So how do you know if you have a valuable 1982 D penny? Here's what to check. Look at the date. The small date variety has a thinner, less pronounced 8 and 2 compared to the large date variety. Weigh your penny. If it weighs 3.11 grams, it's a copper coin. If it weighs 2.5 grams, it's a zinc coin. Check for the Denver Mint mark. A small D beneath the date indicates it was minted in Denver. Verify the metal type. The rare 1982 D copper small date was not supposed to exist. Most Denver minted 1982 pennies were zinc. If you have a 1982 D penny with a small date that weighs 3.11 grams, congratulations. You may have hit the jackpot. Market value of the 1982 D copper small date penny. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the market value. A regular 1982 D zinc penny is worth face value, but the rare 1982 D small date copper penny is an absolute treasure. In recent years, uncirculated condition examples have sold for $10,000 to $20,000. Higher grade specimens can fetch $50,000 or more. In a record-breaking auction, a well-preserved 1982 D copper small date penny sold for over $85,000. The current estimated market value for pristine specimens exceeds $585,532, making it one of the most valuable modern pennies ever discovered. Why is this penny so valuable? This coin's extreme rarity stems from the transition period in 1982. The Denver Mint was not supposed to produce any copper small date pennies, but a few somehow made it into circulation. Since only a handful have been found, collectors and investors are willing to pay enormous sums to own one. How to find a 1982 D copper small date penny. Are you excited to start searching for this rare penny? Here are some tips on where to look. Check your piggy bank. Many of these pennies are still in circulation. Look through old coin rolls. Banks often distribute customer-wrapped rolls that could contain hidden treasures. Estate sales and flea markets sometimes have unsearched coin collections. Garage sales and antique shops might have old jars of pennies waiting to be explored. Other valuable 1982 pennies to watch for. While the 1982 D copper small date penny is the most valuable, keep an eye out for these other profitable varieties. 1982 no mint mark copper small date, worth hundreds or thousands in top condition. 1982 D large date copper, less rare but still valuable in high grades. 1982 Center Strike pennies. Errors like these can fetch $50 to $500 plus. 1982 Double die pennies. Coins with doubling in letters or numbers can be worth big money. Final thoughts. Could you be holding a fortune? The 1982 D copper small date Lincoln penny is one of the most exciting discoveries in modern coin collecting. If you have one, it could be worth an incredible amount of money. Even if you don't, searching for rare coins is an adventure that can pay off in unexpected ways. So, start checking your pocket change, piggy banks, and coin jars. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible coin discoveries. Share this video with your friends and family, maybe they have a rare penny too. Thanks for watching RFCoins, and happy treasure hunting. Today's video, we'll dive deep into the fascinating history of the 1983 D Lincoln penny, what makes certain ones so valuable, and how you can determine if you're holding onto a hidden jackpot. We'll also discuss the current market value of these coins and what collectors are willing to pay for them today. So stick around until the end, because you won't want to miss this. The history of the 1983 D Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, it has undergone several changes, but one of the most significant transitions happened in 1982, just a year before the penny we're talking about today was minted. Before 1982, Lincoln pennies were made primarily of 95% copper. However, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a cheaper composition, 97.5% zinc with just a thin copper coating. This change made pennies much lighter and drastically altered their metal content. By 1983, all pennies should have been made from this new zinc composition, but here's where things get interesting. Some 1983 pennies, including those struck at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark, were accidentally minted on old copper planchets from 1982. These rare mistakes have become highly sought after by collectors because they shouldn't exist. What makes the 1983 D Lincoln penny so valuable? Now, let's get into the details that make certain 1983 D Lincoln pennies worth an absolute fortune. There are a few key factors that determine the value of a penny, and we're going to cover all of them right now. As I mentioned earlier, most 1983 pennies were made from zinc. However, some were mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets from 1982. Since copper is much more valuable than zinc, these pennies are worth far more than their face value. How can you tell if your 1983 D penny is one of these rare copper versions? The easiest way is by weighing it. A normal zinc penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, while a rare copper penny will weigh around 3.1 grams. If you have a digital scale at home, you can check this yourself. Another major reason some 1983 D pennies are worth a lot is due to a rare minting error called a double die. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the letters or numbers. For the 1983 D penny, look closely at the words 1 cent and United States of America. On the reverse, if you notice clear doubling in these letters, you could have a rare and valuable penny in your hands. Like all collectible coins, condition plays a huge role in value. If your 1983 D penny has been heavily circulated, it won't be worth as much. However, if it's in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, the price skyrockets. Collectors use a grading scale called MS to determine a coin's condition. A coin graded MS 60 is in decent shape, while an MS 65 or higher is nearly flawless. The rarer the penny and the better its condition, the more money it can fetch at auctions. Current market value. How much is it worth today? So, let's talk numbers. What are collectors actually paying for these ultra-rare 1983 D Lincoln pennies right now? If you find a normal 1983 D penny in circulation, it's only worth its face value, just 1 cent. But if you have one of the rare copper versions, the value shoots up dramatically. In recent auctions, confirmed 1983 D copper pennies have sold for anywhere between $15,000 to over $100,000, depending on condition and rarity. On top of that, if you have a double die 1983 D penny, even in lower grades, it can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if you happen to have a double-die penny and it's one of the rare copper planchets? That's a true jackpot, potentially worth well over $150,000. How to check if you have a valuable 1983 D penny? Alright, now that you know the potential value of these pennies, let's go over how you can check if you have one of these rare treasures at home. First, check for the D mint mark below the year 1983 on the front of the coin. This confirms it was minted in Denver. Grab a digital scale and check the weight. If it weighs around 2.5 grams, it's the common zinc version. If it weighs around 3.1 grams, congratulations. You might have one of the rare copper pennies. Look closely at the reverse side of the coin under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Check for any doubling in the words 1 cent or United States of America. If you see it, your penny might be extremely valuable. If you think you have a rare 1983 D Lincoln penny, don't try to sell it just yet. The best thing you can do is send it to a professional grading service. They will officially authenticate and grade your coin, which can dramatically increase its value at auction. Who would have thought that a simple penny from 1983 could be worth thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of dollars? This just goes to show that rare coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight. The next time you get change at a store or dig through an old jar of coins, be sure to check for a 1983 D Lincoln penny. You never know, you could be sitting on a life-changing treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin discoveries. And if you've ever found a rare coin, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. Today, we have something truly exciting for all coin collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who loves the idea of turning a tiny penny into a huge payday. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, and specifically, the 1990 Lincoln penny. A coin that might look ordinary but could be hiding an ultra-rare variety worth a mind-blowing $597,758. That's right. A single cent from 1990 could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. So, how do you know if you have one of these valuable pennies? What makes them special? And how can you cash in if you find one? Stick with me, because we're going to break it all down: history, key features, what to look for, market demand, and, of course, the latest values of these incredible coins, the history of the 1990 Lincoln penny. Before we get into the rare and valuable versions of this penny, let's take a quick trip back in time to understand its origins. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on its obverse. By 1990, these pennies were still being mass-produced, but here's where things get interesting. During the production of the 1990 Lincoln pennies, something unusual happened. Certain rare varieties were struck with errors or special features that make them extremely valuable today. A simple mistake at the U.S. Mint has turned these coins into one of the most sought-after modern pennies in history. Now, let's break down exactly what makes some 1990 pennies worth a small fortune while others are just regular pocket change. Ultra-rare 1990 Lincoln penny varieties worth big money. There are a few key factors that make some of these pennies rare and valuable. The most important ones are mint marks, errors, and die varieties. If you have a 1990 penny, here's what you need to check: this is the rarest and most valuable 1990 penny in existence. Here's why. In 1990, proof pennies were struck at the San Francisco Mint and were supposed to have an S mint mark under the date. However, due to a minting error, some proof pennies were struck without the S mint mark. These no S proof pennies are incredibly rare, with only a handful known to exist. That if you have one, you could be looking at a value of over $597,758 in top condition. That's right, a penny that was supposed to be worth just 1 cent is now selling for almost $600,000 at auctions. Imagine finding one of these in an old collection or tucked away in a roll of pennies. Now, even if you don't have the rare no S proof penny, don't worry. There are still plenty of valuable 1990 D pennies out there. Some of the key error varieties include center strikes. If your penny has part of the design missing because it was struck off center, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to $1,000, depending on how extreme the error is. Double die obverse. This means the coin has a doubled image, especially on Lincoln's face or the lettering. A strong doubling can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, struck on the wrong planchet. Some 1990 pennies were mistakenly struck on nickel or even dime planchets, making them unique and worth thousands. How to identify a rare 1990 penny in your collection? Now that you know what to look for, it's time to check your pennies. Here's how you can quickly identify a potential jackpot. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Many rare errors are small and hard to see with the naked eye. Look at the mint mark. If it's a proof coin but there's no S, you could have the ultra-rare no S penny. Check for doubling. Look at the date, the word Liberty, and Lincoln's face for any signs of doubling. Weigh your penny. A standard 1990 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. If you find anything suspicious, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin the value. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity, current market value, and where to sell your 1990 penny. So, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare 1990 pennies, how much can you expect to get for it? Here's a breakdown of current market values. If you find one, the best places to sell your rare penny include online auctions, eBay, heritage auctions, great collections, coin dealers. Visit a professional numismatist for an expert opinion, coin shows and conventions. Great places to connect with serious buyers, third-party grading services. Getting your coin graded by PCGS or NGC can increase its value significantly. The 1990 Lincoln penny is a hidden treasure that many people don't even realize they have. Imagine turning a single penny into hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's possible, and it's happened before. So, before you spend that loose change, check your pennies. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries and money-making tips. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable penny. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. See you in the next video. Could you be holding one of these rare gems without even knowing it? Stay with me till the end, because today, we're diving deep into the incredible history, rare errors, and shocking values of the 1991 Lincoln penny. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos about rare coins that could make you a millionaire. The story behind the 1991 Lincoln penny. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to go back to 1991. This was the year when the U.S. Mint continued producing the classic Lincoln Memorial penny, a design that had been in circulation since 1959. But here's the kicker: not all 1991 pennies are created equal. Some have mysterious errors and variations that collectors go crazy for. The regular 1991 penny is made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, with a thin copper coating giving it its signature look. But due to unexpected minting mistakes, some of these coins turned out completely different, making them extremely rare and valuable. Why are some 1991 pennies worth so much? Here's where things get really exciting. While most 1991 pennies are only worth face value, certain rare errors and variations can make them worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Let's break down some of the most valuable types of these pennies. The 1991 no mint mark penny, the $20,000 coin. Most 1991 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but some coins from Philadelphia have strange anomalies, making them far more valuable. One example is a penny with an extremely sharp strike and no clear mint mark, selling for over $20,000 in auctions. The double die obverse, a collector's dream. Some 1991 pennies feature a rare double die error, where the design appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during minting. Look at Lincoln's eye, nose, and the word Liberty. If they appear doubled, congratulations. Your penny could be worth $10,000 to $50,000 or more. This is the biggest and most valuable mistake of them all. Some 1991 pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning they weren't made from the usual zinc and copper mix. Instead, some were struck on pure copper, silver, or even foreign coin blanks. One of these ultra-rare pennies sold for $597,759 at auction. That's right, almost $600,000 for a tiny penny. Imagine finding one of these in your old coin jar or pocket change. Life-changing money. The 1991 S-proof penny, a shiny treasure. The 1991 S-proof Lincoln penny, minted in San Francisco, is another special type. If you find one with a perfect, flawless surface and deep mirror-like shine, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. How to check if you have a rare 1991 penny? So, how do you know if you're sitting on a small fortune? Here's what you need to do right now. Grab your 1991 pennies and look at the mint mark. Check for doubling in Liberty, the date, or Lincoln's profile. Weigh your penny. If it's significantly heavier or lighter than 2.5 grams, it could be a rare off-metal error. Look at the color and shine. An unusual metal tone might mean you have a jackpot coin. Get your penny professionally graded by PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity and value. Current market prices. What are these pennies selling for? Prices for 1991 Lincoln pennies have skyrocketed in recent years as more collectors hunt for rare errors. Here's what these coins have sold for in real auctions. Imagine finding just one of these in your collection. That's enough to buy a new car, pay off debt, or even put a down payment on a house. Final thoughts. Could you have one of these hidden treasures? It's amazing to think that a simple penny, something we usually overlook, could be worth life-changing money. This is why you should always check your pocket change, old piggy banks, and family coin jars. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting for you. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab your old coins and start searching. And if you find something rare, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Like this video to help others discover valuable coins. Subscribe for more coin hunting secrets. Share this with your friends and family. They might have a fortune in their pocket and not even know it. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. Today, we're diving into a mind-blowing discovery, the 1997 Ultra Lincoln penny. This tiny, almost forgotten 1-cent coin from the United States is turning heads in the numismatic world, with some specimens reaching staggering prices of $597,761 in the market. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, originally worth just 1 cent, is now valued at nearly $600,000. But what makes this coin so rare? How can you tell if you have one? And why is it so incredibly valuable? Stay with me till the end because we are about to unravel the secrets of one of the most sought-after pennies in U.S. history, the history of the 1997 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American coinage since 1909, honoring the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head penny and became a staple in everyday transactions. By 1997, the design had undergone several changes, but the iconic image of Lincoln on the obverse front remained. The reverse still featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design continued until 2008, before being replaced in 2009 with the current shield design. So, what's so special about the 1997 Lincoln penny? Let's find out. What makes the 1997 1-cent Ultra penny so valuable? Most 1997 pennies are worth face value, just 1 cent. However, there exists an extremely rare variant known as the Ultra Lincoln penny, or ultra-grade Lincoln cent. The term ultra refers to a perfect, near-flawless minting, with an extraordinary strike and pristine surfaces. These pennies have an almost mirror-like shine, with sharp, detailed features. Such coins are often found in high-grade conditions, such as MS-69 or MS-70, mint state, making them incredibly rare. Collectors and investors hunt for these coins because finding a 1997 penny in such an immaculate state is extremely difficult. Another factor that makes some 1997 pennies worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, is mint errors. Here are some of the most famous errors found on 1997 Lincoln pennies. Double die obverse. This error occurs when the coin is struck twice by the minting die, causing noticeable doubling on Lincoln's face, date, or lettering. Center strike. A misaligned strike can result in part of the design being cut off, making the coin unique and valuable. Broad strike error. This happens when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing the edges to appear stretched. Wrong planchet error. If a penny is mistakenly struck on a foreign or incorrect metal planchet, its value skyrockets. Collectors are willing to pay huge sums for these mistakes because they are so incredibly rare. Not every 1997 penny is valuable, but if you have one in high-grade condition, you might be sitting on a fortune. Recently, an ultra-grade, flawless 1997 Lincoln penny was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $597,761. The reason? It was one of the finest examples ever found, with absolutely no imperfections and a deep red color, classified as RD, red designation, by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. The rarer the condition, the higher the value, so check your pennies carefully. How to identify a valuable 1997 Ultra Lincoln penny? Do you have a 1997 Lincoln penny in your collection? Here's how to determine if it's worth more than just 1 cent. Check the condition. Look for a coin that is bright, shiny, and free from scratches or wear. A coin in MS65 or higher will be worth significantly more than a circulated one. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, lettering, and Lincoln's face for signs of doubling or misalignment. Use a coin scale. A standard 1997 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours weighs more or less, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Check the edge. If your penny has a smooth, even edge without any strange marks, it might be a valuable specimen. Send it for grading. The best way to verify the value is to send your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. Where to sell your rare 1997 Lincoln penny? If you think you have a rare 1997 Ultra Lincoln penny, you might be wondering where to sell it. Here are some of the best places. Auction houses. Companies like Heritage Auctions and Stax Bauer specialize in rare coins and attract high-end collectors. eBay and online marketplaces. Some collectors sell their valuable pennies on platforms like eBay, but be cautious and verify buyers. Local coin dealers. Visit a reputable coin shop to get an expert's opinion on your penny's worth. Coin shows and expos. Attending a numismatic event can connect you with serious buyers willing to pay top dollar. For rare finds, final thoughts. Could you be holding a $597,761 penny? The 1997 Ultra Lincoln penny is proof that small things can hold big value. With the right condition, a rare error, or a perfect mint strike, a simple penny could change your life. So, before you toss that change into a jar, take a closer look. You might just have a six-figure treasure in your hands. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing coin discoveries. Also, let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket change. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting for those valuable pennies. Could be worth a fortune? Yes, that's right. What if I told you that a single 1-cent coin hiding in your pocket or coin jar might be valued at nearly $600,000? These rare ultra coins have collectors scrambling to find them. If you have a 2000 D Lincoln penny, you might be sitting on a hidden gold mine without even realizing it. The fascinating history of the 2000 D Lincoln penny. What makes these coins so incredibly valuable? How to identify a rare and valuable penny in your pocket. The current market value and demand. How to sell your valuable coin for top dollar. So stay tuned until the end, because you don't want to miss this. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic part of American currency since 1909. When it was first introduced to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Did you know? The Lincoln penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Before that, American coins only had symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. Fast forward to 2000, the U.S. Mint continued producing the Lincoln penny, and the Denver Mint struck millions of these coins. But something happened. A rare error and mint variations turned a small fraction of these pennies into coins worth an absolute fortune. Now, you may be wondering, why would a 1-cent coin be worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars? Some of the most valuable 2000 D pennies have minting errors that make them extremely rare and desirable for collectors. Here are the top errors to look for. Double die error. The coin was struck twice, creating a doubled image, especially on Lincoln's face and lettering. Center strike. If the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting, part of the design may be missing, increasing its rarity. Broad strike error. When a coin is struck without the collar die, it results in a slightly larger and flatter coin. Wrong planchet error. If a penny was mistakenly struck on a dime or nickel planchet, it becomes extremely valuable. Collectors love these errors, and they'll pay big money for them. The condition of your penny is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor MS 65 to MS 70 pennies. These are the most valuable, as they have sharp details and no visible wear. Red, brown and brown varieties. The redder the coin, the more valuable it is. Perfect condition 2000 D Lincoln penny with a rare error can fetch upwards of $500,000 at auction. As of 2025, coin collectors and investors are aggressively searching for ultra-rare Lincoln pennies. Here's what they are selling for. Even common 2000 D pennies in circulated condition can be worth $10 to $50 if they have a minor error, so don't ignore those pennies. You might be tossing away a small fortune. Want to know if you have a rare and valuable 2000 D penny? Follow these steps. Look just below the year 2000 on the front of the coin. If there's a D mint mark, congratulations, you might have a valuable coin. Use a magnifying glass to check for double images, center strikes, or unusual features. If you think your penny is rare, send it to a professional coin grading service. Make sure you get the best price. Do not sell too cheaply. Now it's your turn. Check your pocket change, piggy banks, and old coin jars. You might be holding a penny worth thousands of dollars. Comment below if you have a 2000 D penny and let us know what you found. Like this video if you learned something new today. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on valuable coins. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.